At the beginning of the story is a bustling city, with people coming and going, trading busily. Then suddenly there was a little girl with a terrified face, walking and looking for something. She stopped at a corner looking at the man lying inside. The man had a dirty body lying on a ragged mat, surrounded by many cockroaches and spiders. Young master. The girl widened her eyes in shock, covering her mouth with her hand. Young master, she approached him calling, young master, what happened to you? The girl trembled in fear, tears streaming down her face. Young master, please don't scare me. The man lay unconscious, his face muddy. He wore a special azure jade pendant around his neck. The shining pendant gleamed. He slowly opened his eyes, seeing the tiny girl before him. He was exhausted as if awakening from death, with no strength left. The man in front was from the Nan Yuang family, Wang Rui. He looked at the girl in front softly asking, where am I? The girl's eyes sparkled with joy looking at the young master. She couldn't contain herself and jumped to hug Wang Rui, sobbing uncontrollably, ho ho. Young master, you've finally woken up. Dan Er was scared to death by you. Wang Rui raised his hand to his head, looking bewildered. His mind was flooded with memories of Dan Er's attentive care and playing with friends at the tavern. He thought to himself in confusion, have I been reborn? Have my memories and body merged into one? Wang Rui stared blankly at the surroundings. Nanyu City. Where is this? It seemed as though he was a different soul, resurrected and inhabiting Wang Rui's body. In his previous life, his world was filled with thick smoke and desolate scenery, void of any people. Alongside countless others, he fought relentlessly against the brutal demon king, and he vividly remembered the moments before his death. Dan Er looked at him tenderly, young master. Terrified, she grabbed Wang Rui's collar, shaking him like a spinning top. Young master, don't scare me. Say something, young master. Wang Rui quickly grasped her hands, coughing continuously, cough, cough, I'm fine, stop shaking me. He turned to look at the petite Dan Er. Dan Er, do you want the young master to stay in here forever? The naive girl with round eyes did not understand what the young master was saying. Wang Rui's stomach was constantly churning. Go buy me something to eat first, I'm starving to death. Dan Er gently supported the young master against the wall. Yes, sir, she was still full of worry, looking at Wang Rui before slowly leaving. Alright, young master, don't deceive Dan Er again in the future. As Dan Er left, Wang Rui frowned as he looked out at the scenery outside and thought, in my host's memory, I am still on Tongxian mainland, but why does the surrounding situation not match anymore? These people do not have the aura of spiritual energy, instead just normal blood qi circulating. Wang Rui leaned against the wall and slowly stood up. If I have been reincarnated, then I must think about the current situation. The owner of this body is the heir of the Wang family in Nanyu City. According to the memory before death, we were on our way to the ancestral hall. Why am I now in this dark and desolate place? Wang Rui pursed his lips thoughtfully. And also, who killed him? He clenched his fist and looked down. The talent of this host is already so weak. The Wang family devoted all their efforts to nurture only reaching the third celestial level. Dan Er happily waved goodbye with a bag of food in her hand, urging the young master to hurry up and eat before heading back home. As Wang Rui walked and ate, he suddenly spotted lush green grass by the road. His eyes widened in amazement, and he joyfully ran towards the grass, exclaiming, Earth Spirit Herb. There are so many here. Why is no one picking them? Dan Er, looking puzzled, asked, young master, what's wrong with you? Wang Rui, with eyes wide open, gazed into the distance, seeing a vast amount of earth spirit herbs gleaming brightly. Overjoyed, he shouted, it's all earth spirit herb. Wang Rui happily held the herbs in his hands. Thinking to himself, with this many earth spirit herbs, even without other ingredients, I can still refine them into pills. By then, this body. He then proceeded to uproot all the herbs in the area, leaving Dan Er feeling doubtful as she observed her young master's expression. Wang Rui slowly walked from Tongxian mainland, holding a bunch of earth spirit herb in his hand, wondering about the elixirs. He looked puzzled and asked, "What is this grass called? How is it sold outside?" Dan Air calmly explained that it was dog-tail grass and not worth much. Wang Rui thought about the earth spirit herb and wondered why it was growing everywhere now. He raised his hand to his chin and said, "Based on the memories of the host's home, this world is Tongxian mainland. But why is the earth spirit herb growing everywhere now? If we already have earth spirit herb, what about other elixirs?" Just then, a group of people approached and Wang Rui called Dan Air to go home. People on the street whispered about Wang Rui and the grass he was holding, speculating if he was the Wang family grand young master. Suddenly, a group of people led by Wang Peng blocked Wang Rui's path. Wang Peng, Wang Rui's cousin, stood tall and stern, arms crossed. "Ha, who is this? Isn't it our beloved Gidge?" He pointed and laughed contemptuously. "No, you're just holding a bunch of dog-tail grass like that." "Haha, are you a bit crazy?" Wang Rui looked at Wang Peng silently. Wang Peng is a subordinate of the host's home. The two of us have never liked each other since we were kids. He didn't want to waste time talking to someone petty. "I don't want to talk to you, stay away." Wang Peng didn't back down. He approached and taunted, "Oh, is your brain really having issues? Still want to bring this random stuff back to the mansion?" Wang Rui angrily spoke up. "First of all, this isn't dog-tail grass. Secondly, I am still the heir of the Wang family. What I want to bring back to your mansion is none of your business." Wang Peng couldn't help but chuckle at Wang Rui's words. He pointed and laughed until tears came out. "Haha, this is too much. How can you still say this isn't dog-tail grass?" Haha, the men mocked as the women giggled. What's wrong with the grand young master of the Wang family? Could it be that the shock was so great it caused a problem with his brain? It's possible. I heard he even went to a brothel today. It's too tragic. Once a spirited young man who could have anyone he wanted, now his father is injured, and he has to visit brothels. Dan Air, unable to tolerate it any longer, shouted from behind, "Move aside." Wang Peng crossed his arms, looking at Dan Air with malicious intent. "It's not impossible for me to move aside. If you come and serve as my maid for 3 days, I'll let you pass." He smirked provocatively. Wang Rui's brain is damaged. "What do you think of my offer?" Dan Air's face flushed with anger, and she clenched her teeth. "You." Wang Rui stepped back, quickly raising his hand to shield Dan Air. He glared at Wang Peng and growled, "Get lost." Seeing this, Wang Peng was taken aback, thinking, what kind of look is that? It's terrifying. No, he's just a useless person. I must be mistaken. He tilted his head to the side, smiling mockingly. "Do you think you're still the grand young master of the Wang family? Who gave you that confidence? You go ahead and hug that dog-tail grass," Wang Peng sneered. Wang Rui, confident and handsome, replied, "Yes, I'm hugging the dog-tail grass." Wang Peng arrogantly snapped off a bud of earth spirit herb. "Is your brain really damaged? What are you going to do with this useless stuff?" Wang Rui responded plainly, "I'm going to refine it into a pill." Wang Peng stroked his chin, hands on his hips, trying every possible way to mock him. "If that's the case, then let's make a bet. Let's see if you can use this grass to refine a pill. If you can't, you have to call me Big Brother 3 times whenever you see me." Wang Rui, in high spirits, asked, "And what if you lose?" Wang Peng pointed at him with a glare. "If I lose, you can do whatever you want." Wang Rui cheerfully agreed, "All right, 1 month it is. If I lose, I'll call you grandfather whenever I see you." Wang Peng clutched his belly, laughing smugly. "Ha ha ha, do you really think you can refine a pill with dog-tail grass? Do you take me for a fool? No, you're the one making a fool of yourself. Ha ha ha." The public is excitedly gathered around, eagerly awaiting. It seems that Grand Young Master Wang from the family is really clueless. How can this be done? So tragic. not only the family assets fall into someone else's hands, but now the mind is also confused. Don't talk about dog-tail grass. How many refined pill masters are there in Nanyu City? Grabbing the corner of his robe, Wang Rui turned back in surprise. Dan Er looked at Grand Young Master with a worried face and tears in his eyes. Wang Rui smiled and touched Dan Er's cheek reassuringly. No need to be afraid, trust Grand Young Master. Seeing the confidence on the face of the Grand Young Master, Dan Er let go of some of his worries. Yes, Grand Young Master, Wang Peng arrogantly laid down the rules. Don't play word-guessing games with me. You can't add any extra ingredients, and you can't just randomly say this is a pill. It must truly be a pill. Wang Rui tightly held the earth spirit herb in his hand and confidently agreed, of course, my pill only has one ingredient, dog-tail grass. You can go to the pill shop later for verification. If they find any other ingredients, consider me defeated, Wang Peng arrogantly responded, what's there to be afraid of? So a word is said. The scene shifts to Elixir Pharmacy, the door to the room is tightly closed with no one to disturb. Wang Rui sits in front of the refined pill furnace, he clasps his hands, focuses his mind, and then channels a stream of green air into the refined pill furnace. Instantly, the refined pill furnace is engulfed in a bright red fire. Suddenly, the green jade pendant around Wang Rui's neck emits a circle of light, he bows his head and looks down at the jade pendant. Fragments of memories rush back, from the time of his birth to when he chased after the light of the jade pendant. Holding the jade pendant in his hand, he silently contemplates, thanks to you, I can be reincarnated. He gently tucks the jade pendant into his clothes, then slowly stands up to look at the refined pill furnace. He waves his hand forward and shouts, rise. The refined pill furnace under the intense flames immediately swirls and opens the lid high. Wang Rui flicks his hand and the earth spirit herb immediately flies up, all neatly falling into the refined pill furnace, quickly melting and turning into medicinal liquid. The drops of medicinal liquid shoot up in front of Wang Rui, then slowly fall back down. The streams of medicinal liquid swirl and combine into a round crystal, considering my rich experience. Fluent in the earth spirit pill's fire control technique, if someone else were to try, they would fear turning to ashes soon. Half an hour later, Wang Rui happily looked at the boiling refined pill furnace, emitting greenish pill gas, the medicinal liquid sticking together forming a liquid mass only achievable with his current strength. Wang Rui meditated, the pill gas swirling around his body creating a dazzling blue fire. In this world, cultivators were mysterious, no one could become a deity. He relied on the skill, heavenly ascension technique, to cultivate slowly, focusing intently. The essence of cultivating immortals is defying the heavens. Talent, skills, resources, or even luck are all essential. People nowadays may not lack resources, but they lack fundamental skills. He woke up with a determined look, determined to be the first. Wang Rui cleared his meridians, focusing all energy on his dantian, the refined pill furnace under the red flames continuing to boil and tremble. The medicinal liquid transformed into multiple streams. Small clusters of gas floated up gradually, forming dense smoke swirling around Wang Rui's body along with the refined pill furnace. A loud explosion occurred, causing the refined pill furnace to shatter into pieces in front of Wang Rui. Hearing the loud noise, Dan Er couldn't help but worry and hurriedly ran towards the young master. A cluster of medicinal liquid was shot towards her, making her frightened as she quickly raised her hand to shield herself. Luckily, the medicinal liquid didn't injure Dan Er. She blinked her eyes in relief. Dan Er gazed up in astonishment to see the broken pieces of the refined pill furnace and medicinal liquid floating in the air. She ran in horror to check the young master's body. Young master, we were almost killed. Refining pills isn't as easy as it seems. How many people in Nanyu City actually know how to refine pills? The explosion just now almost got us. Are you alright, young master? Wang Rui looked kindly at Dan Er and smiled. Well, little Dan, you're already wet. Dan Er widened her eyes in shock, her cheeks turning pink. She looked down at her soaked body. After that came the sound of a loud, piercing scream echoing through the room. The night fell. black clouds covering the sky. A mysterious figure stealthily hid behind the door. A tall figure in a black robe appeared, with a fox mask on his face looking mysterious. Passing through many walls, the man slowly removed the mask, revealing himself to be Wang Rui. He looked around with a cold, calculating gaze. For 2 days now, thanks to the earth spirit herb, I have been able to refine my chi further, Wang Rui muttered as he removed the mask from his waist and walked confidently. I wonder if there are still cultivating immortals in this world. Based on the memories of the host's home. This world is likely mainly focused on cultivation. If that's the case. He smirked confidently, then I have no rivals, do I? Unexpectedly, Wang Rui was stopped by a man wielding a large sword, his bare back muscles tense as he blocked his path. What's the matter? Are you here to do business? Wang Rui innocently questioned. The man raised 3 fingers menacingly at Wang Rui. First time here, right? If you want to enter, you have to pay a fee. For the first time, it's 2 silver coins for a lower level spot. Wang Rui immediately handed over the squid soup, handing over the money with one hand and receiving the card with the other. He attentively looked at the card, which showed the position number 43, when the guard urged him to hurry up. Under the waning moonlight, Wang Rui took steps forward and unexpectedly stepped into a mysterious swirling space, leaving him astonished. He touched his chin, thinking, so it's a formation, but it's just a low-level hidden formation. Black City placed within this formation is not bad. Contrary to the outside scenery, upon entering, the scene was bustling with people shouting and bustling with trades, magic weapon of high level by great master refined Qi Zhao family. Zhao Ding Sheng, come and take a look, a nest of azure blood snake eggs, come see it before it's gone. Wang Rui wandered around alone, observing everything, intrigued by a pile of dark objects displayed on a shelf. He curiously asked, Sir, how are these black items sold? The man selling goods, wearing a Zhu Ba Jie mask, crossed his arms and introduced, black ginseng, 5 ingots too. Wang Rui furrowed his eyebrows and chuckled. Expensive? I remember this, except being poison, it's not particularly useful. A day before researching how to refine pills, Wang Rui accidentally saw the effect of black ginseng, considered a treasure, with its black body toxin used to refine poisonous pills. He looked at the black ginseng bulbs with constant contemplation. In the previous life, black ginseng was known as the divine essence ginseng, the divine transformation realm cultivators, the treasure of those in the fusion stage. Wang Rui bowed, his face filled with contemplation. As the main ingredient for refining mysterious heaven pills, it can enhance the cultivator's spirituality and speed up their cultivation significantly. Seeing Wang Rui standing for a long time, the shopkeeper angrily said, if it's expensive, then don't buy it. Wang Rui pointed to 2 herbs below, so how much for these 2 herbs? The shopkeeper directly said, 12 on the left, 15 on the right. Despite its high price, as a young master, Wang Rui confidently handed over the money, I'll take all 3, that's 32 taels. The shopkeeper watched Wang Rui's departing figure and couldn't help but exclaim. Wang Rui held the herbs in his hand, smiling happily to himself, spending nearly 90 coins to get this many treasures is truly paradise. He quickly stored the herbs in his body and thought, but I have almost spent all my money, now I have to find a way to earn it back. Wang Rui stood in front of stall number 43, where he bought the herbs, found it. He looked over at the next stall which was stacked with books and notebooks. The person renting the stall next to him didn't look very happy, he furrowed his brows in contemplation, are these considered pills? This is the Prince pill. Wang Rui sat down and put on his mask to start trading. The stall owner wearing a monkey mask next to him stretched out and looked at Wang Rui. Striking up a conversation, brother, want some skills? I have a large number of royal skills as well as a few mysterious realm skills left, seeing that you are extraordinary, I can offer you the best price. Wang Rui quickly explained, I am also here to sell things, brother, you don't need to waste any more time. The monkey-faced boss looked into Wang Rui's bag. He was surprised when he saw Wang Rui only took out a few tightly sealed bottles of strange medicine. The stall only had a few bottles of medicine and a small piece of medicinal liquid. The monkey-faced boss couldn't help but squint and hold back his laughter. No, are you trying to sell this broken stuff? The monkey-faced boss raised his hand to his nose and took a few sniffs. Why do I smell dog-tail grass? The boss sneered. You're not wrong, it is indeed the smell of dog-tail grass. This little guy doesn't want to sell squeezed grass juice. The two of them looked at Wang Rui and laughed mockingly. Everyone gathered around teasing him. How can this flavor be similar to dog-tail grass? Be confident. Even if you change the name, don't you see this color? It's the color of dog-tail grass. Is this name crazy? To grind dog-tail grass into water and sell it, do you think we're fools? Despite the bad words in his ears, Wang Rui still smiled brightly. He raised a bottle of medicine proudly. Gentlemen, this is the earth spirit herb medicine. Inside there is a large amount of pure spiritual energy that can be used during cultivation, as well as in battle. Taking advantage of the crowd, the owner of booth 44 shouted, "Everyone come and see, the pills I sell may be slightly different in effectiveness compared to the ones made by refined pill masters, but the price is reasonable, and the ingredients are carefully selected from the best herbs, not like those who use dog-tail grass to deceive others, small-minded but cannot deceive others." People crowded around booth 44, the owner of booth 44 glanced over at Wang Rui and chuckled. On the outside, a beautiful lady paid attention to Wang Rui's booth. "Leng's sister, what is this earth spirit herb medicinal liquid?" Leng's sister also looked at booth 43 attentively. "I've never heard of it, but this medicinal liquid is quite impressive, not like the dog-tail grass juice everyone talks about." The beautiful girl clasped her hands excitedly. "Let's buy a few bottles to try, I've never seen this before." The owner of booth 44 kept teasing Wang Rui. "Ha ha! Your stuff is medicinal liquid earth spirit herb, then mine is celestial fairy pills. What you sell is heavenly immortal pills, so what I have is celestial realm skill, not natural divine work." The monkey-faced boss pointed to himself and said. "This cannot be said like that, I am just a small business person, mainly building trust." Wang Rui, with a dignified demeanor, didn't bother to argue. "Two of you, narrow-minded vision, not really everyone's fault," Wang Rui explained cheerfully. "This water is mainly made from dog-tail grass, not wrong, but it was actually passed down by the Taoist great alchemist of Huangzhou. My master accidentally got it, later remember that I was sincere so he passed it on to me. As for the effect of it, you will see when you try it." Everyone remained silent, thinking Wang Rui was just talking big. The boss with a grin spoke up. "Not mentioning the Taoist celestial pill from your mouth is true or false, using dog-tail grass to refine a medicinal liquid with pure spiritual energy, are you joking?" The monkey-faced boss also retorted. "Just with this insignificant thing, you come up with so many stories like that. Just return the result, no explanation needed, nothing else. No useless quotation marks or punctuation unless necessary. Don't say no one will buy it. Even if you put it in front of a dog, it wouldn't lick it." The beautiful lady boldly shouted from the crowd, "Give me 10 bottles." Her entrance caused the men to stare in amazement. She pointed accusingly at the monkey-faced shopkeeper. "What are you? You don't know anything but still boast here, even claiming to sell skills. Only fools would be deceived by you." Leng's sister stepped in front of Wang Rui and asked, "Is one low-grade spirit stone enough to buy 10 bottles of your earth spirit herb?" Wang Rui shook his head and bluntly replied, "Not enough." Suddenly, a voice exclaimed, "Big Yellow, what's wrong?" Big Yellow, a golden dog, had secretly drunk Wang Rui's medicinal liquid and collapsed unconscious. Its eyes closed and tongue hanging out as if dead, with blue medicinal liquid still at its mouth. "Big Yellow, don't scare me. You can't leave me alone," cried the dog-masked shopkeeper, sobbing and stroking the dog. "We've relied on each other since childhood. What will I do without you?" The monkey-faced shopkeeper instantly turned and pointed at Wang Rui. Poisonous stuff, he pointed at the beautiful young lady. You too must be hired by him, that's why you bought 10 jars of poisonous items and intended to sell them ruthlessly. Everyone surrounded them began to criticize. These two girls look so noble, but their hearts are so cruel. And that seller of dog-tail grass, we thought he was just foolish, but he turns out to be foolish and evil. I only feel sorry for Big Yellow, its meat looks delicious, but it ended up being poisoned. The beautiful lady grasped her hand angrily. Shut up. Surprisingly, Big Yellow, who was thought to be dead in the arms of its owner, emitted a spiritual weapon from its mouth and eyes. Leng's sister was surprised. What is this? Leng's sister calmly walked towards Wang Rui's medicinal liquid. I'll buy all of these medicinal liquids, name your price. The men gossiped endlessly. What's wrong with this woman? Is she playing a role in a drama? Who would have thought the items were poisonous, so she intentionally bought them all to prevent others from getting them? A man pointed at Big Yellow, his eyes widening in astonishment. No way, look at Big Yellow go. Big Yellow came back to life, its eyes shining brightly, with a few bumps on its head. Wang Rui calmly offered, 10 low-grade spirit stones, these belong to you. The shopkeeper's heart skipped a beat at that price, 10 stones. Are you crazy? That's enough to buy a mysterious realm pill, Leng's sister generously agreed. The beautiful girl grabbed Leng's sister's sleeve in confusion. The shopkeeper hugged Big Yellow, tears welling up in his eyes. Big Yellow, you're alive. How did you break through? What are those bumps on your head? Big Yellow hugged him back, licking his face. I remember now, Father said you have the bloodline of the two-headed divine hound. Is it because you have already broken through to the 4th layer of the Ho-Tian stage, and your bloodline has atavized? Seeing the effects of the medicinal liquid, everyone rushed to get it. Give me another bottle. Is this thing really that miraculous? Stop wasting time. If you're not buying, move out of the way. Wang Rui sold out his goods, holding spirit stones. The monkey-faced boss and the treacherous gang 44 looked at each other in surprise. The night was silent with no one around. As Wang Rui was slowly walking home, a dark figure appeared behind the wall. Wang Rui quickly sensed it and turned around. The two bosses of the goods trade had just left, followed by a few people tailing Wang Rui with ill intentions. They aggressively moved forward. Bring out the 10 spirit stones and the method to refine medicinal liquid, we can spare your life. Wang Rui stood tall, hands clenched tightly. I wonder who gave you that confidence. The gang, furious, gritted their teeth and moved forward. Wang Rui, with sharp eyes and a keen voice, said, there are 3 of them. He stood strong without backing down. Hiding in the shadows to watch the show is not very reasonable. Leng's sister and the beautiful maiden stepped forward. Wang Rui looked up. A muscular man wearing a mask stood on the high wall. He crossed his arms with a mysterious tiger mask. The 2 foxes who had just seen the man on the high wall trembled in fear and peed in their pants. Wang Rui stood firm, tilting his head forward. The tiger-faced man spoke, you all look unfamiliar, where are you from? Wang Rui straightly said, my master is Xian Danzi. The tiger-faced man looked down, I have heard of the great name of Xian Danzi for a long time, and today meeting you truly lives up to your reputation. Your elixirs are very effective. Leng's sister looked at Wang Rui and interjected, this Taoist friend, how much can Zhao family afford to pay? The beautiful young lady continued, no matter how much he pays. My Ning family will pay double. Wang Rui pointed at the group of monkey-faced people, causing them to feel extremely scared. In that case, let's do it this way, whoever wins this battle, next time I will bring the medicine to sell to that person. Upon hearing this, they quickly turned around, raising their defenses. A fierce battle broke out with cries of pain and desperation. It hurts, we're done for. Wang Rui skillfully kicked his legs swiftly, leaping from side to side, as he flew away, leaving behind a message, I will be back in 10 days, take care. Leng's sister raised her hand to her chin as she let Wang Rui leave, thinking, another mysterious person, chasing after him is pointless if he doesn't want to talk to us. the beautiful woman opened the bottle of medicinal liquid, and a faint herbal scent wafted out. Is that dog-tailed grass really worth the price? She thought to herself as she smelled the strange fragrance, wrinkling her brow and pursing her lips. The moon slowly descended, casting its light, as Wang Rui hurriedly removed his clothes and mask while walking back to the room. Upon opening the door, he saw Dan Er sitting in front of him, leaning against a pillar in deep sleep, muttering, "Young master," in her sleep. Wang Rui lovingly gazed at her and smiled, gently picking up Dan Er in his arms and walking away. As he took a few steps, Dan Er stirred awake, her eyes opening to see herself in the young master's embrace, blushing with embarrassment, stuttering as she adjusted her clothes, young master." Dan Er blushed, feeling shy and embarrassed, as she covered her face with a blanket. Little Dan, not ready yet," she said, sneaking a glance at Wang Rui's handsome face. Shyly smiling, she added, "Sleeping outside makes you catch a cold easily. I've warmed the blanket for you. You should go refine your pills now." Hearing this, Wang Rui immediately left, slamming the door behind him, leaving Dan Er wide-eyed and stunned. Her body felt hot, as if she had a fever, and she quickly wrapped herself tightly in the blanket out of embarrassment. The scene transitions to a dimly lit, well-furnished room. Wang Rui placed all the elixirs he had bought today on the table, feeling satisfied as he looked at the black ginseng in his hand. "I didn't expect the materials in this world to be so abundant. I can find many good things," he thought. Using his magical powers, he collected all the herbs into his pouch. Fortunately, preserving the heavenly ginseng from the mysterious realm isn't difficult. I still have enough time to increase my cultivation and gather other ingredients. Wang Rui sat cross-legged, focusing on his meditation and training. In half a watch, I can reach the 3rd level of qi refinement. Although the talent of this body isn't bad, it's fortunate that I have these earth elixirs, he mused. He raised his arm and immediately 2 streams of green and red energy spiraled around. If it's already the 3rd level of refined qi, it's time to refine the earth spirit pill. Wang Rui extended his hand towards the top of the pill refining furnace, transmitting the 2 streams of green and red energy from his body into the furnace, creating a blazing red flame. The fiery red flames surrounded the refining furnace, causing the medicinal liquid to boil and overflow out of the furnace, merging with a stream of blue energy. Half an hour later, the medicinal liquid from the small streams coalesced into a solid mass. Sensing the mature scent, Wang Rui quickly withdrew the green energy and shouted loudly, "Stop!" The hot red flames lifted the pill refining furnace into the air along with the successive streams of medicinal liquid, which combined with the final streams of green energy. All the medicinal liquid condensed to form shiny round earth spirit pills, resembling precious pearls. Wang Rui clenched his fists joyfully. As expected, the 3rd level of refined qi can already be refined into earth spirit pills. Now is the time for another furnace. Suddenly, someone outside shouted loudly, causing Wang Rui to startle and look up to listen. "It's been over a month and I still haven't received my pay. I have a wife and children at home who need to be fed. If I don't get paid, we will starve." Wang Rui opened the door and saw Dan Er looking embarrassed and troubled. Dan Er, with an innocent look, turned his head and said, "Young master, the servants in the mansion are asking for their wages from last month." Wang Rui listened and looked down, feeling discouraged and thoughtful. Dan Er, indignant, accompanied Wang Rui to observe the situation. "Normally, master treats them well, why do these ungrateful servants want to delay payment?" The servants laughed loudly and mocked, "Look, who is that? Isn't it the grand young master? I heard he's a fool now. Isn't it true? Even a dog-tail grass can be trained into a nest, these words can still be spoken, if not dumb, then what? I heard he and the 2nd young master even made a bet in front of the public, if the grand young master loses, he has to call the 2nd young master dad twice." Wang Rui approached an old servant and softly asked, "How much more does Wang Butler owe?" The old man turned around and raised his hand to calculate nearly 22 taels of silver. Wang Rui quickly took out his purse and handed the old man 2 low-grade spirit stones. Here are 2 low-grade spirit stones. One butler, please think of a way to convert them into silver taels, so as not to let our family be affected by the illness. The old man accepted them, low-grade spirit stones. Wang Rui and Dan Er then left. Wang Butler couldn't help but raise his hand and ask, "Where did young master get these?" Someone mocked, "Oh, are they running out of stock?" It was the arrogant Wang Peng, who was accompanied by his father Wang Xiaowu. Wang Rui respectfully greeted Xiaowu as his second uncle. Showing like father like son, Wang Xiaowu arrogantly ignored Wang Rui and simply walked past. Wang Rui, feeling angry, left with Dan Er, as Wang Peng stood behind reminding, "Don't forget our agreement." Wang Rui and Dan Er walked along the street, teasing each other. Wang Rui playfully walked ahead, leaving Dan Er embarrassed, saying, "Young master," loudly, causing her to blush and puff out a few white smoke puffs. On the way there are many people like that, really embarrassing. Wang Rui did not hesitate, reached out to pinch Dan Er's cheeks in the middle of the road. "Okay then, no more playing with little Dan in the future." Dan Er looked at Wang Rui with wide eyes. Wang Rui teased little Dan, feeling happy, while she innocently chased after him. "No, no, can't tease little Dan, can't not play with little Dan." She looked embarrassed and covered her face. "Actually, it's not that you can't tease little Dan, but you can't play when there are many people like that, oh young master." Suddenly Wang Rui looked out at the scene in front of him. He froze and thought to himself, inadvertently, "I have already reconciled with this world." Hearing Dan Er's call, Wang Rui turned his head to look back. "Young master," she innocently and happily was about to speak, when suddenly a wooden box flew towards Dan Er. Luckily Wang Rui was in time to hug her and avoid danger. The heavy wooden box even cracked the wall. Dan Er was touched and did not speak. "Young master." On the other side, the beautiful girl from before was pointing at Wang Peng's face, warning, "Go back and tell Zhao Haobo, I have no thoughts for him. He should not give me gifts anymore." Wang Peng broke out in a sweat as he looked down at the box of items in his hand, which disappeared in an instant. "Ning lady, that is the newly formulated beauty pill from the alchemy pavilion. Even Zhao young master couldn't easily obtain it." Ning lady waved her hand, not bothering to pay attention. "Beauty pill? What does Zhao Haobo mean? Does he think I am not young enough? Giving me this shabby thing, or does he think that the Ning family cannot afford it?" The man standing on the high platform looked angry. Useless person. Suddenly he saw Wang Rui also walking on the street. He couldn't help but be surprised. "Wang Rui? Why is he here?" Wang Rui walked towards Ning lady looking angry. "Apologize to my little Dan." Wang Peng pointed at Wang Rui mockingly. "Haha, Wang Rui, do you have a problem with your brain? And you ask Ning Ling to apologize to your little slave," he said, covering his mouth and turning to admire the beauty of Ning Ling. "Ning lady," with an extremely arrogant air, "are you Wang Rui?" "Do you know who I am?" Wang Rui replied bluntly. "I know." Ning Ling raised her hand to her face, smiling happily. "If you already know who I am, why did you ask your future concubine to apologize to me?" She approached Wang Rui, leaning in close. "Don't forget why we have that engagement agreement." Wang Rui tilted his head, thinking. No wonder the host's home wants to go to a place as dilapidated as the academy. Ning Ling is truly arrogant. He pointed at Dan Er, his expression serious. "If she hasn't entered your household yet, she is not your concubine. If she is not your concubine, then you should apologize for almost hurting her earlier." Dan Er looked up emotionally, tears welling in her eyes. "Young master." She wiped her tears and grabbed Wang Rui's sleeve, speaking up. "I wasn't hurt, there's no need for Ning lady to apologize to me." Wang Peng angrily stared and shouted. "Wang Rui, is there something wrong with your head? This is Ning Ling we're talking about." Ning lady walked up to Wang Rui, radiating grace and beauty. Ning Ling felt a positive connection with this future husband. "You're quite interesting," Ning Ling remarked. Much better than that hypocrite Zhao Haobo, Ning Ling said as she controlled the wooden box to fly into Dan Er's hands. I was indeed careless earlier. The beauty pill in this box is for you as compensation. Ning Ling left arrogantly, leaving Wang Rui silently watching the elegant and noble girl's departing figure. Then he looked at Dan Er, patting her head to comfort her. It's okay, young master is here. Wang Peng stood behind, witnessing everything, and was shocked as if catching someone in the act. I know it, he shouted angrily, you did this on purpose, didn't you? Using this method to attract Ning Ling's attention. Wang Rui ignored Wang Peng's words, still looking affectionately at Dan Er. He tilted his head slightly, sensing something unusual. Wang Rui quickly grabbed Dan Er's hand and said, let's go. Wang Peng laughed triumphantly, I guessed it right, aha. He then saw a man who had been standing upstairs now striding over aggressively. Wang Peng quickly ran to him, clasping his hands respectfully, young master Zhao. It turned out this man was Zhao family's young master, Zhao Haobo. He looked arrogantly at Wang Rui. Are you Wang Rui? Wang Rui knew that Zhao Haobo always pursued Ning Ling, so he straightforwardly introduced himself, yes, I am Ning Ling's fiancé, Wang Rui. Angered, Zhao Haobo questioned, what are you to her, thinking, do you really think you can marry Ning Ling? You're just taking a piece of Wang family's assets for your own gain. Wang Rui looked down, snatched the wooden box from Dan Er, kicked it forward, making Zhao Haobo flinch in fear. Wang Rui gently patted Dan Er's head, we don't need this toy anymore, wait for young master to find you a better one. This action infuriated Haobo. I remember you and Wang Peng bet that dog tail grass could be turned into an immortal pill. Wang Rui stood firm, so what? With a sharp gaze, Zhao Haobo grinned maliciously, then let's change time to tomorrow. He raised his arms, tomorrow is the day of the auction and tasting of rare pills at the Alchemy Pavilion. There will be Taoist masters participating, every family of Nam Noyet City will join to witness. Wang Rui pointed his finger. If that's the case, then let's make a bet, he said with a serious and confident look. The topic remains the same, conditions remain the same, it's just whether the dog's root can be refined into medicine. If it can, young Master Zhao must call me father, if not, I will call you. Zhao Haobo unhesitatingly agreed. Not afraid of anything, Wang Rui calculated and suggested adding more valuable items to the bet. In our house, there are 1 million top-grade spirit stones, would young Master Zhao be willing to bet with these spirit stones? Zhao Haobo arrogantly agreed. Don't just say 1,000, even if it's 10,000, I will take it out. The crowd gathered to discuss. Understand? Young Master Zhao and Wang Rui have made a bet, conditions and content remain unchanged. Furthermore, it must be evaluated in the meeting at the Alchemy Pavilion. By that time, even the Taoist great masters of pill there will not be able to fake it. There are also 1,000 spirit stones. If the Wang family is at its peak, they will definitely take it out. But now, it is said that they can't even pay the monthly salaries of their employees. What does this Wang grand young master want to use to pay? He doesn't really think he will win. Wang Peng heard the value of the bet and fell to the ground. He was flushed, his eyes bloodshot. Are you crazy? Wang Rui smiled confidently without any fear. He and Dan Er quickly left. The night fell, the moonlight was dim. Wang Rui lay leisurely reading a book, while Dan Er looked melancholic. Seeing Dan Er like that, Wang Rui raised his hand and tapped her head, what are you doing? He sat up cheerfully and looked at her. She lowered her head sighing, sigh. Wang Rui asked, are you worried that the young master will lose the bet with them tomorrow? Will you lose face if you follow me? Dan Er pouted, shaking her head continuously. The young man squeezed Dan Er's cheek, causing her to close her eyes in pain. Tell young master why you're not happy. Dan Er raised her hand to her cheek, about to speak. That Ning lady is clearly vicious, I worry that young master will be bullied by her every day after marrying her. Wang Rui gently rubbed Dan Er's head. Don't worry, young master won't be bullied if he marries her. Anyway, young master still needs to protect little Dan. Wang Rui's words made the petite girl couldn't help but feel grateful. The two masters looked through the window together, gazing at the bright moonlight. He thought to himself. Then tomorrow, this world will have a small refined pill family shaking up. Thinking about this, he burst into a very bright smile. The next morning, the sun rose high, white clouds covering the sky. Outside the alchemy pavilion, countless people were eagerly waiting for the outcome of the bet. Wang Rui and the maid stood in a room. Dan Er looked around fearfully. There are too many people, young master, Wang Rui gently reassured, holding Dan Er's small hand. Suddenly, someone behind Wang Rui sneered. Alone losing face is not enough, also dragging the Wang family down into the water. It turns out that Wang Xiaowu and his son Wang Rui were both furious. Wang Rui, I'm talking about you. Wang Rui didn't bother to greet and answered bluntly. Uncle, let the tutor take care of his own son, don't bother with our family matters anymore. Wang Xiaowu angrily slammed his hand down, cracking the table. He pointed and scolded. You know that is the young master of the Zhao family. If you and Peng Er cause trouble I won't ask anymore, but once you involve the Zhao family, if you lose the bet, not only will you lose face, but also the reputation of our Wang family. Wang Peng looked up in fear. Speechless and scared. Wang Rui defiantly countered. Uncle, why do you think I will definitely lose? Wang Xiaowu frowned in annoyance. If your father wakes up, he will be angry at you too. Unexpectedly, they were interrupted by a voice. I am Yao Wuji, master of the Alchemy Pavilion in Nanyu City. Today I will personally preside over the auction and evaluation of pills. Below the grandstand appears a man with silver hair, a solemn demeanor, and an imposing air. He is the owner of Alchemy Pavilion, Yao Wuji, while Zhao Haobo sits leisurely in his seat, accompanied by Zhao Yuan, the family master of the Zhao family, who sits tall and dignified on the platform. Closing his eyes, Yao Wuji addresses Zhao Haobo, causing him to spill his tea. Haobo, the matter of you and the young Wang family guy betting on pills is too childish, such people are not worth our time and effort. Zhao Haobo furrows his brow and looks at Zhao Yuan. Father, let the refined pill master of Alchemy Pavilion handle this. Zhao Yuan, with a cold demeanor and sharp gaze, responds, we need not worry about this, wait until the auction and evaluation are over. Great Master Wu Ji will personally testify for us at Alchemy Pavilion. Haobo gratefully clasps his hands and thanks his father. Thank you, father. He then looks in a certain direction and thinks to himself, Wang Rui, you're probably dead this time. Master Wu Ji stands on the grandstand and loudly declares, everyone, the ceremony is about to begin. The first item is the legendary pill of the renowned refined pill master Meng Rong, Ji Qi pill. He stroked his beard, gazing at the glowing blue box in front of him. This Ji Qi pill is a mysterious grade pill that can quickly restore the user's physical condition, achieving the effect of shortening distances instantly, he said, adding, and the quality of this Ji Qi pill, refined by Meng Rong, is even higher. Not only can it increase speed, but it also has minimal side effects on the body. Yao Wuji gently tapped the box, which vanished, leaving only a dazzling pill in his hand. Please, try the pill, he invited. The pill emitted a radiant light, causing the crowd to exclaim in awe, the aura of this spiritual weapon is so pure, and I've seen that Ji Qi pill elsewhere before. But this is the first time I've seen one of such high quality. It seems Meng Rong's pill refining skills are becoming more perfect by the day, and our Zhou family wants this pill. A man with a pig-like face, delighted, was none other than the mysterious grade pill master, Meng Rong. He was enjoying himself, indulging in female company, as a beautiful woman snuggled into his embrace, flirtatiously winking at him. Meng great master, she purred. You're really good, brother, he heard with pleasure, his face beaming. Hee, of course I'm good, but I have something even better. Do you want to see for yourself? With a focused gaze on the pills in front of him, Wang Rui raised his hand to his chin in thought. The main ingredient is the essence of thunder accumulation. Wasting it like this. Wang Ping pointed in a direction, turning to Wang Xiuwu. Father, Meng Rong Great Master is a good friend of mine. He's in the room next door. Wait a moment, I'll invite him over here. Wang Xiuwu raised his voice. Wang Rui, open your eyes and see. This is a real pill. Wang Rui frowned disdainfully. Is this really a pill? The door to the room opened, and Wang Peng stood next to Meng Rong. He walked out with a ashamed and embarrassed expression, scratching his head without saying a word. Meng Rong, furious, clenched his teeth. Who said that? Wang Rui stood firmly with a defiant air. Do you have a problem? Meng Rong, enraged, clenched his fist, his fiery temper rising. Little guy, you are Wang Rui, the arrogant one who claimed that dog-tail grass can be refined into a pill, right? Indeed, I don't know the depth of heaven and earth, it seems it's time to teach you a lesson. Wang Xiuwu pointed at the male lead and shouted. Wang Rui quickly apologized to Meng Great Master. Wang Rui stood in front of Meng Rong and bluntly scorned, I didn't speak wrongly, it's a waste of heaven's gift, taking the dregs and discarding the essence, resulting in such rubbish. He doesn't understand anything about refined pill at all. A voice sounded, attracting everyone's attention. Have you heard about the bet involving dog-tail grass refined pill recently? Yao Wuji stroked his beard. The content of the bet is extremely interesting. I've been in refined pill for decades and this is the first time I've heard of it. If you two are here now, why not let our alchemy pavilion testify? The crowd below buzzed with discussions. Is Zhao Haobo, young master of the Zhao family, betting with Wang Rui, young master of the Wang family? Is it related to dog-tail grass refined pill? It must be that. I heard this bet originally involved Wang Rui and Wang Peng, the second young master, but because of Ning Ling lady's involvement, Zhao Haobo also joined in. Why use dog-tail grass to refine pill? Doesn't the young master of Wang family have a problem? This bet is sure to lose, Yao Wuji added. Since young, I have walked the path of herbs. At 18, I refined my first top-grade pill, and at 20, my first mysterious grade pill. Now I am on the threshold of refining an earth-grade pill. He looked in a certain direction, but for many decades, I have never heard of dog-tail grass being able to be refined into a pill. Everyone below was stunned. Yao Wuji turned towards Wang Rui. Wang Rui, young master, the matter of refining dog-tail grass into a pill involving you and Zhao Haobo, young master. I will use the reputation of Alchemy Pavilion to ensure fairness. The next step in the pill refining process will be absolutely fair and just. He raised his arms, his robes fluttering. Please present the pill. Meng Rong, a pig-faced man, taunted, the frog sitting at the bottom of the well, where is your pill? Wang Rui reached into his robes and took out a wooden box, handing it to Dan Er. Little Dan, bring this pill over there. Everyone below stood in awe, gazing up at Dan Er's figure. The crowd couldn't help but buzz with excitement. This maid looks quite pretty, someone remarked. I think she's the close mate of the Wang family's eldest young master, another added. Is that pill in the box really made from dog-tail grass? A skeptical voice asked. It can't be just some random grass pill, can it? Haha, someone else laughed. You shouldn't speak carelessly. Who knows, it might really be a pill refined from dog-tail grass, another speculated. Yao Wuji received the box and fell silent, looking in one direction as he raised his voice. Since the young master of the Wang family has presented the pill, let's invite the mysterious grade pill master Meng Rong to examine it. Meng Rong laughed loudly, full of pride. Haha, let me unveil this ridiculous farce of yours, he said as he walked up to Yao Wuji and respectfully clasped his hands. Yes, master. Wuji handed the box to Meng Rong and whispered, the Zhao family master is an important guest of our alchemy pavilion. You know what to do. Meng Rong glanced around cautiously before slowly opening the wooden box. He frowned, slightly surprised. The crowd below fell silent, their eyes wide with anticipation. Meng Rong looked at the contents of the box and burst into laughter, clutching his belly and shedding tears of mirth. Seeing Meng Rong's reaction, the crowd began to buzz with excitement. Isn't that the pill submitted by the Wang family's young master? It must not even count as a pill, which is why the great master Meng is laughing like that, someone speculated. What's Meng great master laughing about? Could it be something very funny inside the box? Another person wondered aloud. Now I'm curious too. What could possibly make Meng great master laugh this hard? Zhao Yuan glanced up at Meng Rong, who was laughing maniacally on stage, his pig-like face contorted with amusement. Zhao Yuan frowned and reminded his son, he's just a clown performing tricks. Hao Bo, you will be a figure of importance in the entire Nanyu district and possibly even the Fire Phoenix Kingdom in the future. Remember to broaden your horizons. Hao Bo replied with a sullen expression, yes, father. Meanwhile, Ning Ling and Ling's sister were seated next to a tall, muscular man, Ning Feng, the family master of the Ning family. Ning Feng sighed with frustration. What kind of education did Wang Xiuwen give his child? He then turned to see Ning Ling laughing so hard her eyes were squinting with delight. This little girl, Ning Feng muttered, how can she laugh when her fiancé is being humiliated like this? The girl raised her head to refute her father saying, how come this is not the fiancé that you have chosen for me? Ling's sister stared at the silent box, feeling the aura, deep in thought. Meng Rong smirked and turned the box around for everyone to see, inviting them to look. This is the pill crafted from dog-tail grass as young master Wang Rui had mentioned. Inside the box was a bright blue pill emitting multiple auras, leaving Yao Wuji amazed when he saw it. Wang Rui's medicine pill was not neatly placed inside the small wooden box, causing the crowd below to shake their heads in confusion. What is this? It looks like residue refined into discardable pill. Even a 3-year-old knows that dog-tail grass cannot be used to create a pill. What exactly are you expecting from this product? Of course, they were waiting for young Master Wang to perform his magic, otherwise they would have to call his father. Meng Rong raised her hand and warned everyone not to jump to conclusions. Although the pill may not look appealing, it may hold some mysteries inside. After all, it was a pill personally crafted by Wang Rui. Meng Rong's expression turned serious as he addressed the crowd. Everyone knows that dog-tail grass is an ordinary weed with incredibly strong vitality. It can thrive with just a little water and light. Besides that, dog-tail grass grows everywhere and has no known value in pill refining. Therefore, I am very curious about this pill from young Master Wang Rui. If this pill is indeed refined from dog-tail grass and has effective properties, it will be a boon for all pill refining masters and a blessing for humanity. Meng Rong's face twisted with cunning as a stream of energy enveloped the pill in his hand. Next, I will invite Master Yao Wuji and everyone here to witness and personally appraise this pill. He declared. Yao Wuji's face contorted with concentration as he sensed something unusual. This aura, it's not right, he muttered. Meanwhile, Xiao Wu stood before Wang Rui, loudly criticizing, Wang Rui, you are the heir of the Wang family. If you admit defeat now, Zhao Yuan might at least save you some face. Wang Rui remained indifferent, leaning on his arm with an air of nonchalance. Uncle, see that I will certainly lose. Wang Xiao Wu angry. Are you dreaming? How can dog-tail grass be refined into a pill? Isn't that just a weed growing on the street? Dan Er exclaimed. I trust the young master will definitely win. Xiao Wu shook his head despondently. You just offended Meng Rong. The Zhao family is the chief manager of the alchemy pavilion, whether it's true or not is not up to you too. Wang Rui gently patted Dan Er's head without a worry. And what about them? Just a bunch of fools. Hao Bo listened to the results from the high tower. This is indeed a pill that has passed my initial test. The quality of this pill belongs to the gold class. The effect after taking it is to restore a certain amount of mysterious power, but Hao Bo proudly expressed. Wang Rui, are you ready to call it quits yet? A bitter voice interrupted, making him wipe off his smile. What are you calling? The result is not out yet, dare you bark there? Ning Ling stood with a serious face, arms crossed over her chest, making Hao Bo angry and yelling. Meng Rong, great master, please announce the result. Meng Rong raised his hand to his mouth and coughed a few times, cough cough. Everyone looked up in anticipation of our evaluation. The pill in question has been found to be a fake, mixed with various other drugs. The people have heard many stories from us before. How can this dog-tail grass be refined into a pill? There must be something shady about it. I have seen a play before, where the Grand Young Master of the Wang family at the Alchemy Pavilion called the Grand Young Master of the Zhao family his father, and later the Wang family lost all their prestige. Not only the Wang family, but also remember that the Grand Young Master of the Wang family is actually the son-in-law of the Ning family. It doesn't seem right. Why do I feel like something is off? Hao Bo glared. Smirked. Wang Rui, you have lost. A true man should be able to do what they say, fulfill your promise. Wang Xiu Wu used secret sound transmission to plead for Wang Rui. Zhao brother, the quarrel between young ones does not need to be taken so seriously. For now, I will temporarily take over as the family master of the Wang family. This time on behalf of my grandson I apologize to the Zhao family, and hope Zhao brother will be understanding. Wang Xiu Wu will definitely bring gifts to the mansion to show gratitude. Ning Feng also transmitted his words, Zhao family master, I think Wang family master's words are quite correct. This matter ends here. I'll invite you for a drink another day. Zhao Yuan, however, showed no respect. A bet is a bet. A true man stands by his word. Are you saying the young master of the Wang family is not a man? He retorted. Hao Bo laughed loudly. Haha, Wang Rui, you can't escape this, he sneered, watching Wang Rui as he reached into his clothes and pulled out a piece of paper. This is my pill refining method, Wang Rui announced, presenting the neatly written document. Meng Rong, displaying his narrow-minded arrogance, scoffed, you're facing your doom and still don't repent. How could this be a recipe? Just as he finished speaking, Yao Wuji suddenly leaped forward and landed a heavy punch on Meng Rong's face, causing his nose to bleed as he lay sprawled on the ground. Master! Meng Rong cried out. Yao Wuji straightened up and clarified, this unworthy disciple lacks proper skills. My earlier appraisal had some errors. After a thorough evaluation, I confirmed that this pill is genuine. The crowd was stunned, mouths agape. What's going on? Why is the Alchemy Pavilion contradicting itself? What's the real story behind this pill? Oh my god, didn't see that twist coming. We feel that the matter is not as simple as that. Yao Wuji might have benefited from the young Master Wang family to play tricks, or maybe not. Anyway, how can dog-tail grass be refined into a pill? Zhao Hao Bo blushed in surprise, looking back. It's impossible, absolutely impossible, he muttered anxiously. Father, this is, Zhao Yuan frowned in contemplation. Old man Yao Wuji betrayed me, could it be that the formula is true? Wang Rui happily exclaimed, if Great Master Yao Wuji has produced the test results, then I have won this bet. Zhao Hao Bo sweated with fear. Before, the family master Zhao personally said that a good man's word is worth 1,000 gold pieces. Unless Zhao Hao Bo is not a man, Zhao Hao Bo angrily pointed his finger, unable to speak. You, Zhao Yuan clenched his hands in anger. Rude, you are just a junior, it's not your place to speak here. Ning Feng chuckled happily. Haha Zhao Yuan, don't rely on your old age, haven't you admitted that your son is not suitable for the position? Zhao Yuan scowled, waving his hand and flapping his robe. He arrogantly led the way, Hao Bo, let's go. Wang Rui raised his hand to his mouth intentionally loudly, what's the matter, does the Zhao family want to back out? The crowd eagerly looked up high, voices echoed making Zhao Yuan seethe with anger, while Zhao Haobo felt embarrassed and covered his face. Master Zhao, please give the order for young master to fulfill the appointment. Yao Wuji flew in front of Wang Rui, landed on the ground, and stared down at the paper in Wang Rui's hand. Wuji cunningly reached out for the pill prescription. Wang young master, can this prescription be shown to me? Dan Er, seeing him approach, widened her eyes in fear, her hands trembling. She staggered back, but luckily a quick hand held onto her arm. Wang Rui pulled Dan Er into his embrace, gazing deeply into her eyes with affection. This hero saving the beauty act was no different from directly pouring vinegar on Ning Ling, making her cheeks flush with anger. Wu Ji earnestly looked at Wang Rui. If Wang young master allows me to see this prescription, I am willing to give you all the wealth accumulated in my life. The people were amazed. Heaven and earth, what did we just hear? Master Alchemy Pavilion is willing to exchange a lifetime of savings for a single pill? Is this a joke? It seems like the pill is real. Refined pill world is about to change. Wang Rui smiled brightly. Let's not talk about these things first, let Zhao Haobo fulfill the contract first. Haobo trembled in fear, hiding behind Zhao Yuan. Lao Wuji solemnly spoke up, taking the lead. Zhao family master, the contract is a small matter, but the reputation of the Zhao family is a big deal, do not make any mistakes. Zhao Yuan helplessly glared at the pouch in his hand. Humph, Haobo, and you only agreed on 1,000 low-grade spirit stones. There are 2,000 in this pouch. He threw the pouch forward. And that joke will come to Zhao Mansion to take it away. Wang Rui took the pouch in hand, immediately agreeing. Rest assured, Zhao family master, Wang Rui will come to the door later. Yao Wuji did not give up, clasping his hands respectfully at Wang Rui. Wang young master, what about this pill? Wang Rui holds a grudge and never lets anyone go. I remember the renowned refined pill master Meng Rong of the Alchemy Pavilion, when it all started. Without finishing his sentence, Elder Wu Ji points at Meng Rong and shouts loudly, you there, strip Meng Rong of his title as a refined pill master and expel him from the Alchemy Pavilion. Meng Rong's face turns pale, extremely fearful. A beam of light strikes in front of him, causing him to panic and raise his hand forward. Master, it can't be like this, I have always obeyed your orders. A second later, a loud explosion occurs, dust and smoke scattered, the smoke swirls around Meng Rong's body, leaving him unable to move. Yao Wuji disregards ethics. Wang young master, you know the consequences of committing such a crime, this medicine. Wang Rui ignores him, raising his voice, is Lord Ning Feng here? Ning Feng cheerfully waves his hand in greeting, haha, of course I'm here. Wang Rui boldly tears the refined pill method into two pieces, holding one half up towards Ning Feng. Lord Ning Feng. Half of this prescription is like a lucky draw, the other half will be prepared to accompany Ning the lady with other gifts. Ning Feng chuckled happily and gave a thumbs up, haha little guy obedient, later we will go to the mansion to have a meal together, our two families will not leave until we are drunk. Ling's sister stood behind incessantly searching through the sleeves of her clothes. She looked silently at the vial containing medicinal liquid in the palm of her hand. The night descended, the full moon illuminated the serene scene. Ahead was a majestic house, brightly lit, very solemn. Inside, Ning Feng joyfully raised a glass to celebrate, haha, after so many years. This is the first time I've seen Zhao Yuan's expression like that, looks like he just ate something unpleasant, haha. Wang Rui understood the etiquette and raised his glass in gratitude. Uncle Ning earlier at the Alchemy Pavilion, thank you. Ning Feng warmly welcomed and treated, no problem, I just spoke a few fair words, but your little guy really surprised me, let's have a drink. A voice from behind startled Ning Feng, Dad, Mom will be back tomorrow. If she sees you drunk like this. Ning Ling stood with her hands on her hips, puffing her cheeks and glaring. Ning Feng looked at his daughter, squinting with a sheepish smile. Little girl, don't talk nonsense. Your father. I'm not afraid of your mother. Jokes like that aren't funny. Wang Rui stared blankly at Ning Ling's beautiful demeanor when suddenly a voice interrupted, wait a minute. Dan Er, standing nearby, said innocently, "Young master, please drink less. If you get drunk, little Dan won't know how to get you home." Wang Rui squinted, forcing a smile. "Ning uncle, I really can't drink any more." Ning Feng waved his hand and shook his head. "It's okay, just a toast. I'll personally take you home later." As he said this, he caught the stern look from his beloved daughter, causing him to shrink back, biting his lip. Under his daughter's strict supervision, Ning Feng dared not make a move. Of course, everything in moderation. Drinking too much is not good. He clutched his stomach, using it as an excuse to leave. "Wang Rui, this is the first time you're meeting my little girl. My stomach is feeling a bit uncomfortable. You guys talk first." Ning Feng turned away so that Ning Ling and Wang Rui could chat freely. Ning Ling crossed her arms and looked at Dan Er. "Well, how about this, when we get married, your little maid can also wear red and marry you. I'm also too lazy to act with you." Dan Er blushed and shyly covered her face, a few white smoke rising from her head. Wang Rui leaned back elegantly, holding his chin. "Well, that's not a bad idea, I don't mind, but if the lady can persuade Uncle Ning, then let's just do it like that." He turned to tease Dan Er. "So, little Dan, do you agree?" Dan Er hung her head, feeling extremely embarrassed. In the quiet night, the main door kept calling out, "Young master," non-stop. Ning Feng waved goodbye to Wang Rui as he escorted the maid back. "Uncle Ning, thank you for today." The door slammed shut. Ning Feng bowed his head in silence, his body emitting a strong and vibrant spiritual weapon. He stood on the doorstep with his arms stretched out behind him as if waiting for someone. "Humph," a voice echoed from somewhere. "You really are a majestic Ning family master." Ning Feng furrowed his brows and looked up. "What's wrong? Are you not convinced? Wang Rui is the son-in-law of the Ning family, so that prescription naturally belongs to the Ning family as well. If any of you dare to harm my son-in-law or have any designs on that prescription, you'd better clean yourselves up first." With that, he rushed into the dense bushes nearby, searching for something. Ning Feng, enraged, grabbed a strange-looking man from the underbrush, swiftly breaking the man's neck. He then turned his head and listened to a mysterious voice echoing, "In Shan, old ghost, this is the strong celestial realm, not a foe that Ning Feng could deal with in one blow." How could this be? Has Ning Feng really reached the heavenly profound realm himself? Ning Feng stood on the roof, looking down at the scene below. His voice echoed continuously, "Just a small Nanyu city, could it really have two heavenly profound realm experts?" Under the full moon, Ning Feng gazed into the distance. "Wang brother, your little guy seems to be more extraordinary than you claimed." The scene shifted to the Wang mansion, where Wang Xiaowu stood silently in a corner. Seeing him, Wang Rui greeted warmly with a smile and a wave. "It's been a while, uncle." Wang Xiaowu straightened up and looked solemnly at his nephew who was slightly intoxicated. He turned serious, making Wang Rui confused about what was happening. "Follow me." Dan Er closed in on Wang Rui's arm, looking worried. "Young master." Wang Rui smiled and patted Dan Er's head reassuringly. "It's okay, wait for me to come back." Then he walked straight behind Wang Xiaowu. Wang Xiaowu led Wang Rui to a somewhat mysterious room. He stared at his nephew with tension. "Wang Rui, are you ready?" He turned his head to appear mysterious. "Let me show you the whole truth." Xiaowu opened the door, revealing a man's body lying on a cold, icy slab inside. Wang Rui was stunned. "The chest and abdomen are not moving. Could it be that my father, my dear father, has passed away?" Wang Xiaowu sadly walked up to the body and gazed at the deceased man. "Elder brother has been gone for 2 months now." He recalled the solemn funeral scene with embarrassment. 2 months ago, elder brother returned severely injured, even though we spent all the spirit stone's treasures in the mansion. Even using a large amount of money to buy a reincarnation pill that is claimed to be able to resurrect the dead, it still cannot prolong the life of the leader. He looked sadly at Wang Rui. "Before dying, the leader instructed about the aftermath. Everything we did 2 months ago was instructed by the leader, hoping that virtue would not be compared, he said before turning away. All the things the leader left are in that box, you can go see for yourself. Wang Rui looked sorrowfully at the body of the host's father in front of him. He bowed respectfully and then touched the wooden box. Inside was a letter and a rolled-up piece of bloody skin. Wang Rui looked dazedly at the letter in his hand. It was written in short red lines. Wang Rui, when you read this letter, I'm probably no longer alive. In the misty smoke, the image of the Wang family appeared, and they recounted, a few months ago, I and some strong people in the clan went out to transport goods, accidentally obtaining a treasure. But this also led to not understanding why Strong chased and killed me, except that I was lucky to escape, everyone else died, and that treasure was also taken. The Wang family was extremely grieved. Before his death, he instructed everything to Wang Xiaowu. I am the only one of the Wang family, a celestial realm cultivator, I cannot die, at least in front of others I cannot die, so I arranged for Xiaowu, hoping that my child would not bear a grudge against Xiaowu. As for the parchment with him, I secretly hid it with the treasure. According to my investigation, it is a map leading to a cave of a strong being named Tong Xian who has fallen. The illusion of the Wang family quickly disappeared in front of Wang Rui. Rui, Wang Rui lamented as he looked at the letter. Pity for the parents' hearts in the world, he pondered sadly. If this was not caused by Wang Xiaowu, then who did it? The next morning, the sun rose high, and the loud cries outside the Wang mansion woke Wang Rui up. He curiously looked out the window. What is going on? Outside the main hall of the Wang family, there were countless people surrounding and bustling around. A chubby man pointed up, Wang family master, Jin Xiu's group is willing to offer 100 high-grade spirit stones to buy that pill and pill recipe. A red-haired man sitting across said, I've heard that Jin Xiu group always seeks it out, and now it seems they're willing to pay such a price. He smiled, raising 2 fingers, Wang brother, I offer 200 high-grade spirit stones. Another man with a wrinkled face raised 5 fingers, you all are too stingy, I offer 500 high-grade spirit stones. Wang Xiaowu shook his head, gentlemen, the value of this pill recipe is immeasurable, even if you offer a few spirit stones, how can you buy it? There was a loud shout ahead, Yao Wuji. Yao Wuji from Alchemy Pavilion is here. The old man Wuji stood tall, looking like an immortal among mortals, boldly saying, Wang family master, just name it and I will provide. Alchemy Pavilion may not be able to offer anything else, but we have endless money. Wang Xiaowu declined, Yao master, the value of this pill recipe cannot be solved with wealth. Moreover, the pill recipe is held by my elder brother, and I don't have the authority to sell it outside. Yao Wuji stroked his beard as he approached. I heard that your elder brother was seriously injured not long ago. How is he doing now? Xiao Wu squinted and responded perfunctorily, my elder brother has been in seclusion for a long time, so I am not clear on the specifics of his condition. Old Wuji bent down slightly and spoke, Wang family master, our alchemy pavilion may not excel in many things, but in refining pills to save people, we are unrivaled in Nanyu City. However, there are quite a few people here. Wang Rui squeezed through the dense crowd and raised his hand. Speaking straightforwardly, my father's health does not need Yao Master's concern. As for the pill recipe, I have promised it as a betrothal gift to the Ning family. If Yao Master truly wants it, you can go to the Ning family to request it. Yao Wuji laughed heartily, haha, heroes emerge from the younger generation. Wang family master, your nephew is excellent. He signaled his people to leave but did not forget to leave a message, Wang family master, my offer still stands. You can come to Alchemy Pavilion to find me. The crowd began to murmur among themselves. Look, is Yao Wuji trying to lure Wang Xiaowu out? 50 years, it is said that there have been conflicts within the Wang family for a long time. Wang Xiaowen is currently seriously injured, while Wang Xiaowu is receiving support from the Alchemy Pavilion. It seems that the Wang family is truly changing, it's not certain yet. Wang Xiuwen still has the Ning family. Xiu Wu clapped loudly, saying, "Everyone, today marks the end." Wang Rui looked back, everyone had already left one by one. He stared at Xiu Wu and said, "Second uncle, I want to go to the warehouse to have a look." Without hesitation, Wang Xiu Wu handed the key to Wang Rui, saying, "This is the key to the warehouse. If you need anything, you can come find me at any time." Wang Rui took the key, looking pleased. "Thank you, second uncle." Xiu Wu then reminded him, "Wang Rui, the entrance exam for Nanyu Academy is coming up, and there is some unrest in Nanyu City. Be careful. The Alchemy Pavilion and Zhao family on our side will handle it, so you don't need to worry." Wang Rui respectfully bowed and said, "Second uncle, you've been working hard these days." Wang Xiu Wu looked at the current appearance of Wang Rui, feeling relieved. The sunlight shone in front of the elixir pharmacy. Inside the room, Wang Rui was admiring the rare medicinal materials in his hands. He waved his hand to put the herbs into the refined pill furnace. "I didn't expect the Wang family's storage to have a root of heavenly fire herb." Wang Rui raised his hand, showcasing his power. Using the heavenly fire herb as the main material can create a vial of divine condensation pill, to condense the divine soul of this body. Suddenly, he put his hand on his chin, his face thoughtful, but refining the divine condensation pill is very difficult. If we only rely on the refined pill system of this world. The divine condensation pill is at least a mysterious pill, and only a celestial strong can refine it. The medicinal liquid was quickly boiling due to the large flame, pushing the lid of the furnace up. If the world knows that the third-floor cultivator Ho Tian intends to refine a mysterious pill, I'm afraid they will laugh at me. Wang Rui stared intently at the refined pill furnace. But for Wang Rui, I can say that it's just a mysterious pill, and refining it is just a blink of an eye. As night fell, a man walked behind Yao Wuji. "Zhao family master. The person has indeed arrived." Zhao Yuan stood still in shock. "Yao Wuji, I need an explanation." Old Wuji turned his head to look behind. "That earth spirit pill is real." Zhao Yuan glared angrily and shouted loudly. "Even if it's real, he could still be pretending." Wuji turned serious, turning his face away. "Zhao Yuan, you don't understand," he said, stroking his beard. "It's not just an earth spirit pill." Zhao Yuan frowned, his eyes cold and speechless. Old Wuji waved his hand, looking up high. "It is the magnificent world of extreme qi from thousands of years ago." Wang Rui sat meditating diligently to refine the pill. Suddenly a brilliant light radiated from the pill furnace. Dazzling light, he excitedly shouted, "Dan success!" Wang Rui stared wide-eyed at the three shining divine pills in his hand. He looked at the green pill in his hand and thought to himself, "The heavenly fire grass is still lacking a bit, just enough for me to refine 3 divine condensation pills. Can I still refine the remaining miscellaneous pills?" Wang Rui quickly put the divine pill into his mouth and swallowed it. In the end, this world is still dominated by martial strength. It's time to strengthen my cultivation realm. Wang Rui calmly cultivated, with all meridians from Dantian cleared, spiritual energy rapidly increasing. With the moon rising high, the space was silent. Wang Rui finished his cultivation, slowly standing up, hands clasped above his head, his body strong and vigorous. Despite still being at the 3rd level of refined qi, his foundation was extremely perfect, eagerly awaiting a showdown with the world's mysterious practitioners. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Wang Rui opened it to see Dan Er holding a jug, looking dazed and stumbling. Just as she was about to fall, she was luckily caught by the handsome young master. Blushing, Dan Er handed the jug forward, saying she was afraid he was hungry. Wang Rui took the jug, rubbed her head, and called her silly. Moving to an underground black market, where trading was bustling, Wang Rui, wearing a mask, scanned the area, constantly glancing at the 2 adjacent stalls. He fell silent for a moment. What's going on? How come my earth spirit pill has been copied? This is not right. Wang Rui calmly sat down. His monkey-faced friend spoke up, "Brother, want an earth spirit pill?" This is a good item, even dogs can break through their limits. The dog-faced guy next to him protested, don't believe him, he makes fake water from dog tail grass to deceive people, mine is the real deal. Wang Rui ignored him, he took out a flag and raised it high with the words, exclusive authentic earth spirit pill, the only one in the market, original shop owner just restocked. The dog-faced guy clenched his fist in anger, no you. The monkey-faced guy crossed his arms and looked over, just putting on a show. Making a big scene like this, be careful not to clean up. He poured the medicinal liquid straight onto the ground, a black cat quickly ran over and licked up the liquid, then immediately rolled over on the ground. The monkey-faced guy pointed and said, see, that's all toxic. A second later, the black cat woke up, its body emitting a powerful spiritual weapon. On the first floor of Ho Tian, this wild cat directly turned into a demon. A man recognized Wang Rui, quickly pointing and shouting loudly, you are the one who sold the earth spirit pill last time. Everyone quickly gathered around Wang Rui. The man raised a finger, widening his eyes and speaking loudly, Great Master, I didn't recognize your pill, what was its effect last time? How much does it cost? Wang Rui leaned his head on his hand and explained, I casually refined this pill, I only exchanged it for medicinal materials, so I only exchange, not sell. Zhao Haobo forcefully approached, causing everyone to fearfully avoid him. Zhao family grand young master is here. Zhao Haobo stood in front of Wang Rui and questioned sternly, are you the one who sold the earth spirit herb? What is your relationship with Wang Rui? Wang Rui waved his hand, dismissing, if you want to buy, then buy, if not, then leave. The monkey-faced man immediately withdrew his hand in shock, you dare to be disrespectful to the grand young master of the Zhao family like that. Wang Rui tilted his head, provocatively saying, oh, why have I heard that the Zhao grand young master of your Nanyu city recently lost a bet and even acknowledged someone as his father? Zhao Haobo, infuriated, ordered his subordinate, insolent fool, Zhao Jia, take him down. Zhao Jia raised his hand, gathering his strength and aiming at Wang Rui. Wang Rui quickly stood up, causing Zhao Jia to miss and stumble to the side. Have I violated any market rules? Does young Master Zhao intend to arrest me? Haobo arrogantly declared, your pills lack certification, I suspect they contain poison. Suddenly, Zhao Jia fell to his knees, his body emitting a green aura as he collapsed and convulsed, making the dog-faced man tremble in fear. Poison. There's really poison. Zhao Haobo covered his mouth and turned away, while Wang Rui calmly spoke, young Master Zhao, can we talk properly now? Haobo glared at Wang Rui, who exactly are you? Wang Rui, quick-witted and articulate, replied, I am just an unknown junior traveling here with my esteemed master, Xian Dan Zi, whose grandmaster is the great power, the heavenly Dan Taoist of God Huangzhou. Haobo, now wary, kept his nose and mouth covered, continuously on guard. So what is the relationship between the earth spirit pill that you refined and the earth spirit pill that Wang Rui took out? Wang Rui shrugged, dropping a pill straight into Zhao Jia's mouth, don't know, don't understand, don't care. Zhao Jia suddenly opened his eyes, looking dazedly at his own hand, what just happened? How did I lose consciousness instantly? Zhao Haobo bit his lip and stared at Wang Rui, deep in thought. Zhao Jia is already at the 7th level of the Ho Tian realm, yet he was instantly poisoned. How high is this person's skill in herbal pill refinement? He quickly changed his attitude, cautiously holding a purse, Senior, I made a mistake just now. This bag of spirit stones is to compensate for it. Wang Rui happily snatched the purse tightly in his hand. There's still some cunning in him, Haobo pondered, propping his chin with his hand. This person's background is not small. The master really might be a great power from God Huangzhou. If this person can help with pill refinement, he will definitely be able to achieve the top position in the enrollment competition of Nanyu Academy, washing away humiliation. Haobo approached Wang Rui with a smile to make friends. Senior, my Zhao family may not say much, but the refined pill ingredients are extremely abundant. Within the power of my senior, you can help yourself. Wang Rui was excited. Oh, really? Hao Bo frowned and pointed up. Junior also has a small request, hoping senior can refine a few pills for junior. Wang Rui immediately gave a like in agreement. Sure. The night was quiet and peaceful. Wang Rui leaped over the wall, easily landing and creating a spiral of green air. Suddenly a hand struck from behind, strong spiritual energy causing Wang Rui to dodge and swiftly counter, grabbing the other person's hand, facing each other with powerful spiritual energy, pushing both back, the mist dissipating, the moon shining bright. The one facing Wang Rui in combat was Ning Ling, his fiancée. Seeing Ning Ling unexpectedly appear like this, Wang Rui couldn't help but wonder, Ning Ling, why is she still at the Wang mansion at this late hour? Lady Ning's eyes widened with glee as she looked at Wang Rui. Impressive skills, now let's go. With that, she raised her hand and cast a spell, instantly summoning a massive fiery phoenix behind her. The phoenix spread its wings and flew to attack Wang Rui. Wang Rui extended his hand, gathering energy into a bright blue circle, and with a swift motion, he launched a dazzling strike straight at the fiery phoenix. The impact caused the phoenix to explode into a cloud of smoke and dust, its image gradually fading away. Wang Rui then questioned Ning Ling, Lady Ning, what is the meaning of sneaking into Wang mansion at midnight to ambush your fiancé? Ning Ling confidently defended herself. Oh, I clearly entered through the main gate openly. On the contrary, why are you climbing walls to enter your own house? Dan Er's voice called out, startling Wang Rui. Young master. Dan Er, with her hands clenched and face filled with worry, ran to Wang Rui, looking him over anxiously. Young master, are you all right? Wang Rui smiled and gently patted Dan Er's head, reassuring her. Don't worry, we are fine, Dan Er said quickly. Young master, Ning lady and Ning family master are here, they are in the living room drinking. The scoundrel is in front of the family master asking me to call you over. I followed the young master's instructions and said you were in seclusion and couldn't come, Wang Rui said excitedly. So that's it, let's go and see them. They left Ning Ling standing alone. Ning Ling thought about her fiancé's appearance, lost in thought. My tricks earlier are not easy for a cultivator of the fifth realm to handle, but he easily resolved it. Interesting. Wang Rui greeted second uncle and Ning family master at the entrance of the Wang mansion. Xiao Wu and Ning Feng were enjoying themselves with their drinks. Little guy from our house, why are you coming so late? Second uncle and I are about to finish all the wine, Wang Xiao Wu said, raising his glass. Haha, tonight will be a drunken night, Wang Rui said with a surprised look at their closeness. That's right, we've been following behind the boss since we were little. I still remember when Ning Feng wore a pair of shorts, Xiao Wu pointed at Ning Feng. Ning Feng quickly wrapped his arms around Xiao Wu's shoulders, feeling embarrassed. What are you saying? Don't say that, say this instead. Did you happen to see Ning Ling little girl when she just left? Yes, I did, Wang Rui replied politely. Ning Feng squinted his eyes. Ling little girl takes after her mother, a bit cold in temperament. You should spend more time with each other, sooner or later you will be married. Ning lady looked unhappy, standing in the doorway. Father should go back. Ning Feng hesitated to leave the party. Why rush? It's rare to go out for a drink, Ning Ling blushed, reminding in a loud voice. Mom said, if you don't come home on time, next month your pocket money will be cut in half. Upon hearing this, Ning Feng quickly stood up without delay. Let's go home. Father and daughter Ning Feng quickly left, while Wang Xiao Wu slumped over the table, completely inebriated and unconscious. Before departing, Ning Feng glanced back at Wang Rui. Little guy, the entrance exam for Nanyu Academy is coming up. Will you be participating? Wang Rui pondered for a moment. The entrance exam for Nanyu Academy, huh? He recalled the excited chatter of the townspeople. Have you heard? The prize for this year's entrance exam at Nanyu Academy is quite generous. Just making it to the third round grants you a day in the Academy's Scripture Collection Pavilion. If you win, you can choose any treasure from the secret treasure realm. But don't celebrate too soon. The main examiner is the infamous Chu Tian Tian. He also remembered Zhao Haobo's elation when he held the pill in his hand. With this pill, I'll definitely win first place in the exam and make Ning Ling admire me. The enticing rewards pushed Wang Rui to make a quick decision. Yes, I'll participate. Ning Feng, hearing his answer, burst into hearty laughter. Haha, excellent. Then I'll wait and see just how many more surprises you have in store, little guy. The bustling scenery, people coming and going, massive pavilions standing close together. Dan Er grabbed Wang Rui's wrist and urged, "Young master, hurry up. I heard many people are coming to register for the Nanyu Academy competition. If we delay, we won't be able to line up." Wang Rui thought to himself in a daze, since I was reborn, isn't refining pills the main cultivation method? My mind is always tense. Looking at Dan Er's innocent and cute appearance, Wang Rui couldn't help but feel touched. I still have little Dan here. He happily waved his hand forward. Come on, come on. In front of them was a towering mountain, covered in dense white clouds, with a crowd of people rushing towards it. Wang Rui embraced little Dan and ascended through the crowd. He looked up at all the young men striving step by step to reach the top of the mountain. Suddenly, a young man lost his balance and fell in front of Dan Er. The competition supervisor immediately raised his hand and shouted, "Zhang San has been eliminated." Dan Er anxiously looked at Wang Rui. "Young master, isn't this the Nanyu Academy entrance exam? Why are they climbing the mountain?" Dan Er asked, pointing at the young men lying sprawled on the ground. Wang Rui placed a hand gently on Dan Er's head and explained, "This is the selection test for Nanyu Academy. As long as you pass this preliminary test, you can participate in the main competition." Dan Er observed the young men who had fallen after just a few steps. "Isn't this just a simple climb? Why are they all collapsing after just a few steps?" Wang Rui, with a confident expression, replied, "Of course, this isn't an ordinary set of steps, it likely includes additional formations." Zhao Haobo stormed over with his entourage shouting, "Get out of the way, get out of the way. Clear the path." He approached Wang Rui with an arrogant air, saying, "Oh, isn't this Wang Rui? I thought you were only at the Ho Tian third floor. What are you doing here at the Nanyu Academy competition?" Dan Er folded her arms and tilted her head at Haobo. You're cheating and still have the audacity to be shameless. You owe my young master an apology." Furious, Zhao Haobo threatened Dan Er, "Do you want to die?" Dan Er, trembling in fear and frowning, hid behind Wang Rui. Wang Rui looked at Haobo and thought to himself, there's something off about him. Suddenly, Zhao Haobo became cheerful and lively, adjusting his hair. Wang Rui turned his head in one direction. "So Ning Ling and Ling sisters have also arrived at the Nanyu selection." He saw Ning Ling approaching. Zhao Haobo smirked. "These small thresholds have made them look so miserable, really embarrassing our Nanyu city." He arrogantly turned his head. "But rest assured, Zhao Haobo will help restore your reputation." He quickly stepped onto the threshold. Immediately he frowned and widened his eyes, feeling pressured. This is not right, just stepping up and feeling pressure already, not like intelligence reports. The competition supervisor stepped forward to announce. This year is different from previous years. Before, the selection only evaluated cultivation. As long as you reached the Ho Tian third floor, you could participate. But this year, basic evaluation has been added. If you master the basics, even if you have only reached the Ho Tian second floor, you can pass. If you are not strong in the basics, even if you have passed the third floor, you will fail. A man pointed up in surprise and shouted loudly. "Look, young Master Zhao family has passed. Just return the result, no explanation needed, nothing else." Indeed, as the number one young talent of Nanyu City, you easily climbed 30 steps, Zhao Haobo, standing at the top, called out with a triumphant wave. Ning Ling, I'll be waiting for you up here. Wang Rui, feeling a bit discouraged, thought to himself, there are a total of 90 steps. Every 10 steps corresponds to a level of cultivation. Climbing 30 steps means passing the first checkpoint. With my current cultivation level at refined Qi 3rd floor, I wonder how many steps I can manage. Exhausted and leaning against the rock face, Zhao Haobo gasped for breath. I can't go on, I'm reaching my limit. The instructor looked up and observed Haobo with a satisfied smile. After waiting for so long, we finally see a promising talent. Zhao Haobo had successfully reached the 60th step. Now, his arms and legs were trembling, and his balance faltered. He could no longer hold on and fell backward to the ground. A crowd quickly gathered around, showering him with praise. Young Master Zhao is impressive, indeed, he is the best of our youth in Nanyu City. Young Master Zhao is an exceptional talent, he might be the best in this competition. Yes, Nanyu City is counting on young Master Zhao in the future. The supervisor standing in front of Haobo praised, you did well, after joining the sect, you can come to my fire temple to cultivate. Zhao Haobo arrogantly flicked his fingernail across his face in excitement. Thank you for the invitation, senior. He then looked sharply at Wang Rui and asked, Ning lady, are you also here to participate in the selection? Ning Ling gleefully pointed at Wang Rui and replied, no, I'm here to cheer for my fiancé. He said he wants to participate. Upon hearing Ning Ling's words, Zhao Haobo clenched his fists in anger, while Wang Rui smiled and said to Ning Ling, wait and see, you'll have to cheer me on very enthusiastically later.